Unit 1-1.2 Part 2. We're still working with fractions. Right. Going back to our pizza idea, if I had bought 2 pizzas and after eating them in the one box, I had 2 of the quarters left, and in the other box there were 3 of the quarters left. Then how much pizza did I have? Well, I had 2 of the quarters plus another 3 of the quarters, so I had 5 of the quarters. So if I tried to put them in one box, they would be a little bit too much, because 4 of the quarters would fill up one box, and I'd have one more. Please note that your denominator does not change, because my denominator simply tells me the size of the slices. So the denominator stays what it is because they're all quarters. But what would happen if the one pizza I had sliced into 1/8? So there were 3/8 left. And the other pizza we'd only sliced into quarters, so there was 1/4 left. Now when I put them together, how do I know what I have all together? How many and of what? So because the denominators are different, it means the sizes of the slices are different. So I can't just add them and now say I've got 4 slices, because for what size do I have? So let's be clever and say, right, these slices, each of them is 1/8 in size. This one is 1/4. Let's slice it through. Then each separate one is 1/8. So then I have 3 slices of 1/8 each, plus 2 more slices of 1/8 each, which gives me 5 slices of 1/8 each. So, different sizes. You cut them into smaller slices. And you've got to keep cutting until you've got the same size slices for everything. Right, so let's just look if we did it without the picture. If we had 3/8 plus 1/4. Remember, the denominator tells me the size of the slices. So that's the one that's got to be the same. So I notice that if I multiply 4 by 2, I will also get an 8. But then I must multiply the top one, the 1 by 2 as well. So that then I have 3/8 plus 2/8. And as we said, they remain 8s, but now I know I have 5 slices. The denominator does not change when we add them. Obviously, add or subtract, they both have the same rule there. Right, let's do an example from scratch without the pictures. What if I had 1/5 plus 2/3? So now I'm going to say, oh, I need the same denominator. How on earth do I get the same denominator? Take your biggest one, the 5, and look at 5 times 1 is 5. Then look at the 3. Does 3 go into 5? No. Do 5 times 2 is 10. Does 3 go into 10? No. 5 times 3 is 15. Does 3 go into 15? Yes. So now I know I need a denominator which is 15. I go back and I look at my denominators. What must I do to the 5 to get a 15? I must multiply it by 3. Do the same at the top. What must I do to the 3 to get a 15? Multiply by 5. Do the same at the top. So now I have 3 15ths plus 10 15ths, which gives me 13 15ths. It's not like I have more pizza, it's just that my slices have been cut into smaller slices. Right, one more example. What do I do when, for instance, I just have a whole number? I want them in the form numerator over denominator. So I would write it as 2 over 7 plus 3 over 1. Then say, well, 7 itself will be the common denominator. So the 1 needs to change. That means the 3 needs to change. So the 2 over 7 does not change. This one becomes 21 over 7. Remember, the 7 stays. That's the size of the slices. But now I have 23 slices of 1/7 each.